evacuating?
Cloud, and I thought maybe, was that a rain cloud? And my husband looked and said, no, that's a fire cloud.
Thick smoke spewing from the Mount Charleston wilderness, flames ripping through acres in a matter of hours.
Whoa.
For couple Pam Miller and Dave Hensley, it's a devastating sight.
This was so close. This was in our backyard.
The two living in Mount Charleston in between Kyle and Lee Canyon, but today they were forced to leave it all behind.
There's the youth camp.
As the Mahogany Fire continued eating away at the area they love, capturing this video as they said goodbye. While they drove to safety, officials say the fire continued growing, aided in part by the wind. Aerial crews couldn't deploy, making containment of the fire difficult.
Biggest Nevada forest fire I've ever been exposed to.
Las Vegas resident Vincent drove up quickly to meet his friend who was there when the fire started.
Out here waiting while the mountain's burning.
Others drove up near the highway to watch the site with a heavy heart. The sun blood red, wrapped in a layer of smoke. As for Pam and Dave, they're waiting to see what tomorrow brings, but thankful that they at least have each other.
That's real estate. You can always build something somewhere, or you can always move on. You can never get what our lives together would be. So we're happy to be safe and together.
And we know that the Red Cross also has an evacuation site for those in Mount Charleston without a place to stay. We have some details on that on our website, news3lv.com. And Steve, this is a very quickly developing story, so we will be fulfilling this story and talking about it both on social media and right here on News 3 throughout the rest of the night and into tomorrow morning. Reporting live here near Mount Charleston, Lauren Clark, News 3.
That's a considerable uptick.
COVID-19 cases are rising in Nevada, and public health expert Christina Madison says more testing isn't the only reason why.
We anticipated that we were going to see an increased number of cases. The trouble is that it's the percent positives that we're now concerned about.
Those are the number of people getting tested for COVID-19 who have it. This is where the 7-day moving percentage was last month. And this is where it's at now, much higher. That rate has increased for 10 consecutive days. And family doctor Jeffrey Ng says it's a sign the virus spread is increasing in our community.
I view this trend in this wrong direction.
What caused this increase? Because a person infected with COVID-19 doesn't immediately start showing symptoms, and some might not present at all. Doctors say there's roughly a 2-week lag reflected in data. So what was happening 2 weeks ago? Protests on the streets, casino and bars reopening, add summer weather, and people not taking social distancing as seriously.
There was all this pent-up demand because we were locked in our houses for 3 months, and now everybody's like, woohoo, no more COVID-19. Guess what? COVID-19 is still here.
Doctors say there's good news. Our hospital capacity isn't reaching levels of concern yet. But officials emphasize now is the time for vigilance. Put health first. COVID-19 is still here and cases are rising in Nevada.
The good thing is we know what works. The bad thing is nobody's doing it right now.
Fireworks stands are up and are going up all over Clark County. We're in that week-long window where certain fireworks can be legally sold in the valley.
Pretty excited to buy some fireworks.
Good news for Fern, who's ready to spend more than a few bucks.
Probably around 300. That's my limit. It's just a tradition we get around, barbecue with the family.
The fireworks you'll find at these stands are deemed safe and sane.
Those are fireworks that were approved by a committee made up of all the fire departments of Southern Nevada.
Tim Szymanski with Las Vegas Fire and Rescue says you're all good with the safe and sane fireworks. Think sparklers, cone fountains, glowworms, toy smoke devices, those that keep to a small circular area on the ground. But he says you're in for trouble if you're using those without that safe and sane designation, and you could find yourself reported online at I Spy Fireworks by your neighbors.
The fireworks that are illegal are the ones that fly through the air, explode, or they twirl on the ground uncontrollably.
And oftentimes, Szymanski says the people who shoot these off end up causing problems for their neighbors.
Majority of the fires start on people's properties who were not using fireworks. So build up some defenses, clean up your yard, keep it green.
A few more of Szymanski's safety tips. When you're done, clean up and soak the used fireworks in shells. Stay to a flat surface, like a driveway, that's clear of anything that could catch fire. And some words of wisdom from Fern.
Just be safe and keep some water with you at all times.
In Las Vegas, Max Darrow, News 3.